Hey everybody, today I'm doing the anything but books tag, and this I've seen on several channels, but Memento Mori with Adam and Dan Martin Likes You on their channels really kind of prompted me to bite the bullet and do this one. I'll link their videos as well as the original down below. So these are just questions about anything but books. So hopefully you'll learn something that's not horrific about me. Some of this I might have already talked about in other videos, which happens, I suppose. So without any further ado, these are the questions. Number 1, name a cartoon you love. And I'm not a huge cartoon person. I like some of the animated films by Pixar, but the cartoon that I probably have the most nostalgia for is Pinky and the Brain. I remember watching this, I guess in middle school and maybe upper elementary school. I had a t-shirt that I made that said NARF on it. And I just always loved the difference between the two. I kind of am more like Pinky, although I really think I am intelligent. But a lot of times I think Pinky was the intelligent one. So Pinky and the Brain for my cartoon. Number 2, favorite song right now. I love so many songs, but I think the one that I've been playing on repeat the most right now is Scars to You're Beautiful by Alessia Cara, or Cara, I'm not quite sure. I really am a sucker for good lyrics that are affirming and uplifting and make me feel like I'm enough. And I've been having a hard time with self-image lately, feeling like I'm not enough. I've gained some weight in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, which is frustrating. And I just really love in the song where she talks about the things that are a struggle make you the most beautiful and make you just, shine. And I think, a lot of times we forget that the things that are our struggles make us the real, like the Velveteen Rabbit. And so I am loving that song right now. It's great. Number 3, what could you do for hours that is not reading? Memento Mori, Adam said organizing, which realistically is what I would do for hours. Organizing and cleaning make me feel like I have order in my life. And when I get frustrated and angry, that's what I do. A lot of times my mom would come in when I was younger, and if I was dusting and alphabetizing my books, like life was over. But if I could just do anything for hours, I would get out all my art supplies and my, or I would do my scrapbooks. I'm a little bit behind there on that, but probably my art. I would get out my art supplies and just paint and draw. It would be luxurious. Number 4, something you love to do that would surprise followers. I enjoy running, and I enjoy working out with my Revelation Wellness group, which I'll link the video below. I just talked about them in another video. Not sure which video is going to go up first, but I love working out with them. I feel like I'm having a good time. I feel like I'm strong, and I love singing along while I work out. I never thought I would be that person, but I enjoy working out. That's a surprising thing for myself to hear. Number 5, favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about. I love learning about so many things. Art history, especially stories behind art history. But the thing maybe I haven't talked about much on here is I used to be a huge Egyptology freak. Like mummies just make me so interested, and I wanted to be Indiana Jones before I realized that archaeologists really just kind of deal with pottery. Like the shirt that I'm wearing right now is How to Make a Mummy. I got it at the Field Museum in Chicago. Well, rather my husband got it for me because he loves me. But it has a diorama exhibit there of how to make a mummy. I did a mummification science fair project. I just really think mummies are really cool. So that is something I enjoy learning about. I haven't read about it in a while. When King Tut, they came up with some new information on him. I read the last big book about that, but Egypt, ancient Egypt. Number 6, something unusual you know how to do. Well, I do know how to cook a lot of things that most normal people don't cook. Like crepes and gnocchi and homemade pasta and several other things. But the thing that I know how to do that actually does not seem like a skill at first, and I guess it's not, it's probably hereditary because my middle child can do it too. I can touch my nose with my tongue. I can also do this. which is also pretty cool. And while they don't seem like they're useful skills, I always can make a kid smile, and I can always break tension in difficult situations. And I think that makes it pretty worthwhile. So number 7, name something that you made in the last year. I haven't gotten to make as many things lately. I have several projects on the horizon, but this I made for my boys for Christmas. I got an antique spoon holder from Goodwill for like $2, and I painted it, and then I glued Legos on the top to make for them to hang up their minifigs on the wall. And I was pretty impressed with myself. I love making Christmas presents. I used to do a lot more of it. Last year, I just didn't. I had other things going on. But yeah, I made that one, and it was fun. No, a lot of times I do a lot of baby quilts and other things that I give away, so it's hard for me to show you things that I've made and given away. Like my niece last year, I made this beautiful sunshine quilt for her. Yeah, I like things like that. Number 8, most recent personal project. Well, it's January, and about December through February, I always go and make a scrapbook, a digital scrapbook of my previous year. So this is last year's. I'm still working on this year's, which is why but this is last year's. I use my publisher. I'm really happy with them. They have very high quality pages. They will do ones that lay flat. You can get up to 100 pages put into a book. A lot of times I will copy and paste Facebook posts or other things in there. I always do a big 1-page photo spread of our favorite recipe for the year, as well as like the recipe itself. I always include both bad and good in scrapbooks because I think it's important to go back and see what really life was like and not just the good stuff. I think, like I said before, the bad stuff is what makes us who we are sometimes. So like the year I had my miscarriage, I did a whole spread on what that was for me, along with different blips and status updates and things. And so, yeah, I think it's really important to not just celebrate all the pretty things that happened, but show the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm a big advocate for that. So, yeah, and it also makes me much more grateful, I think. I really love looking through the pictures, whittling out what we did, and just I feel so grateful whenever I put it together. So, and my publisher, it's very easy software to use. I go through and I can actually do it pretty quickly when I do it for our vacation photos. I just pick out the photos that I want, put them arranged chronological order, and then upload. They'll put them into an album. You can move them around afterwards, which I will often do. But yeah, I really enjoy my publisher. Number 9, something you think of often. This one's kind of weird, but I guess I already talked about mummies. So I think about death often, and not in like a weird, sick way. But I think the people who think about death the most are the ones that live life really well, because I think about what I want to leave behind, when it will happen. I think about what I want to have my life be about, and what that means in my day-to-day life. If I'm not doing things on a day-to-day basis, it's not going to show up in the end, and when people look back and remember me. So yeah, I think about death, not in a weird way, but it is. Okay, number 10, a favorite thing that is oddly specific. Now, this one I had a really, really hard time thinking about, because I feel like I like a lot of things that are oddly specific. But this one finally popped into my head. The thing that my husband, he always knows what my favorite part of a song will be. If the song stops down to nothing and then starts up again. For example, Alanis Morissette's song, You Ought to Know, and she's like, what do you think of silence? Can you handle this? And then it stops completely. There's several songs like this. If you notice, like when a song just drops down and there's just a pause and then it goes again, it just is my favorite part of the song. And I actually heard a study saying they do that on purpose because it is people's favorite parts of the song. So it worked for me. Anyway, number 11, the first thing that pops into your head. I'm going to say this magic wand up here. That's, I don't use a tripod. I use whatever I stack up and then something behind that to hold my phone up. So I'm very low key, very low tech here. But this wand, it goes up and down. And I got, well, technically, I talked my son into picking this out for my daughter for her Christmas present. But I used to have one just like it, and I would feel magical when I had it. So yeah, this wand is the first thing that popped into my head. So that said, this was a really fun tag to do, even though a couple of the questions were more difficult to come up with. I would love to hear some of your current not bookish favorites. I guess I did another video like this for Top 5 Wednesday this week, but anyway, that's that. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.